What is up, YouTube? I'm your friendly neighborhood Nman64, and I'm bringing you another playthrough of another game. We are back for our second Throwback Thursday project, and as you can imagine, we're going back to a good one. Kingdom Hearts 1, specifically Final Mix. We are not recording off the PS3 this time, we're recording off the PS4. Mostly because the PS3 is an absolute pain in the ass to record off of with Elgato, but more on that as if you ever want to know why I'm not doing Lego Star Wars again. Or if I'm going to do Lego Star Wars, we're going to just jump up to the Skywalker saga. But anyway, more importantly, this, as I mentioned in the previous part of explaining things, is going to be part of Throwback Thursday and another project we're working on, The Road to Kingdom Hearts 3, where we pretty much go through every single Kingdom Hearts game we can possibly play, aside from the mobile game because I refuse to play that one, and the movie versions of Days and Coded rather than anything else. And I completely forgot of the video here, so let's not get myself slammed with copyright just yet. But no, this is not going to be a challenge type of run. This is going to be just me playing through Kingdom Hearts 1 to the best of my ability, and just, doing fun little challenges. I want to be able to do things, and have fun doing all of these sorts of things with a game that, as many of you know, has a very personal place in my heart ever since I played it in 2002. But enough of all this nonsense. It's time to get back into Kingdom Hearts 1 and the world that it created for me.
I've been having these weird thoughts lately. Like, is any of this for real or not?
Let me just lower the volume there so I don't get flagged for copyright nonsense. But yes, we are going back into Kingdom Hearts 1. We're going to do a full-on playthrough, not having to worry about anything with regards to challenges or things. We're just going to play straight through this game, which not only lets me play through a game that I love and play through at least once a year to the best of my ability. Sometimes life gets in the way and I can't fully finish the game, such as working on LPs or doing other things or stuff like that. But more importantly, it does allow me to get back into a game that, as many of you know, I absolutely adore. It's not a masterpiece of a game, Kingdom Hearts 1, but it is something that has extreme emotional. It's something I connect to on an emotional level many times over, as I've mentioned many times on this channel before. I don't think I have to get too in-depth into it, but if anybody needs to ask, I will address it at some point in the LP. More importantly, though, the whole focus of this is to get back into a game that I absolutely adore. And we're not gonna do any challenges. It's not gonna be one of those, maybe we'll do a level 1 challenge or something like that. We're just gonna be playing through this game as it's meant to be played. Enjoying the adventure and all of the rides that come along with it. Because even now, it's still a surreal experience playing this game. After all the things I've been through and all the various different types of games I've played, it's still surreal to have a crossover between the realms of Final Fantasy and Disney. It's still baffling to me. And in my opinion, it's the best it's ever been in Kingdom Hearts 1, specifically as a crossover, because it's not like it's other Kingdom Hearts games which either focus too heavily on Disney stories or not. This is an entirely original story. And like I said, I've always said it's one of my all-time favorite games to just sit around and play when I'm particularly tired or something like that. Whenever I have freedom. So much to do, so little time. Take your time. Don't be afraid. The door is still shut. Now step forward. Can you do it? I mean, obviously you can. Obviously you can. If you couldn't move in a video game, what's the goddamn point of it all? Now, for those of you who don't know, this is how you choose your strengths and weaknesses in Kingdom Hearts 1. Now, I don't want to go into too much detail, but I will be doing some explanations of various things that we have to worry about in this game. In Kingdom Hearts 1, as it is an RPG, you get to choose what your strength is at the beginning. So, if you choose the Mickey wand here, you will be more astute at magic. If you choose the sword, you'll be more astute at offense. And the shield, you'll be more astute at defense. In my travels through Kingdom Hearts 1, I have never had the shield be particularly good, even though this game, you're probably better off getting a shield because the defense in this game is so paltry. However, I have never known the shield to be a particularly good weapon in this particular Kingdom Hearts game. In Kingdom Hearts 2, it is absolutely significantly better, but we'll worry more about that when we get to that game. Obviously, as you would imagine, the shield gives you more defensive abilities first, and you're able to guard faster and counterattack and do all sorts of things. However, you get those abilities regardless of which ones you get. You just get them at later points. Compare this, however, to the staff. Now, if you pick the sword or the shield, the staff will always... you will always be limited to, at max, without weapons or items that boost it, 8 bars of magic gauge that you can use to I can't talk today, apparently, to perform magic. If you get the wand, however, that increases to, I believe, 10 or 12. However, with the wand, you're also going to be doing less damage early on, and you're also going to be more or less at the mercy of your opponents because you pretty much don't get any defensive capabilities until much later. In Kingdom Hearts 1, the sword is generally perceived as the best option because you get good offensive abilities early, you also get the ability scan very early, and in comparison to the other ones, you'll get to do a little bit more damage early on as you progress. One last thing to mention before we choose our weapon is, as you can see, we got Snow White here, and all 7 of the dwarfs, Doc, Dopey, Happy, Sleepy, Sneezy, Bashful, and Grumpy's face being blocked by the sword, but that makes sense. For those of you who don't know, or see why Snow White's eyes are closed, and why Snow White's here at all, it's not just a reference to something. Trust me, it means something for later in the game, but I don't want to spoil it for those of you who've never seen this game. All you have to know is that Snow White is in fact in this game. Power of the Warrior. Invincible courage. A sword of terrible destruction. I will choose the sword to make things easier on me in terms of an offensive standpoint. And while I did go out of my way to say that magic was more or less very important if you wanted to use it, I'm not too keen on using magic in this particular game unless I absolutely have to. The main magic I use in this game is for healing and defensive purposes. So I don't think I need to worry too much about magic in this version. And if I do, I could just go give myself a Keyblade that gives me extra magic. Because yes, that's the weapon that we'll be using throughout the majority of this game. But now that you've chosen your path, you can officially start gaining experience in this game. But don't worry, we've still got a lot to go through in this game. Such as Cinderella, who is also in this game. And yet her eyes are also closed, which is weird. Why are her eyes and Snow White's eyes closed? Cinderella wasn't known for sleeping. She was known for working. You've gained the ability to fight. All you have to do is just press the X button once and you can perform an attack. Use this power to protect yourself and others. The green gauge displays your hit points, or health. If you run out of HP, you'll be taken to the continue screen. The blue gauge shows your magic points. Magic is still a mystery to you. There will be times you have to fight. And these are the main enemies you will be encountering in this game. Heartless. Beings of absolute darkness. And we already took one out. Beautiful. You gain experience, or XP, by defeating enemies. With enough experience, you gain a level. Furthermore, defeated enemies sometimes leave items behind. You can take these items by walking up to them. Different items can do different things, like restore HP or MP. Behind you! Generally, you'll automatically target the nearest enemy, but you can lock onto a specific target by pressing R1. Lock on will appear in the upper left corner of the screen while your target locked on a target. Locking onto targets limits the actions available to you, especially against other targets. Press R1 again to release the target lock. Now, as of this moment, you shouldn't have to worry too much about targeting opponents and stuff like that, because at this point in the game, there really isn't much you have to worry about, because it's obviously very early in the game and this is more or less a tutorial. Eventually we'll have to worry about that, but for now, it's not really high on my list of worries. And now we're on the third of these stained glass looking thingamajiggers. And if you look carefully, unlike the last two, which had Cinderella and Snow White, these three are just silhouettes. What could this mean, and what could this possibly entail? Well, I guess we'll just have to figure out as we play through the game. Let's head up to the door. This is a field icon. It pops up whenever a special command is available. When the triangle exam pops up, you can press the triangle button to examine the object in front of you. I can't open it. The triangle in the command... I can't talk today. The triangle in the command menu turns into various commands. That will allow us to open treasure chests. We can push large crates simply by pressing on the control stick. And we can also smash them. Smashing, sometimes destroying objects yields items. You can take these items by walking up to them. Use them with the items command. You can lock onto objects as well as enemies. When locked on, press L2 to switch to your focus between available targets. And we'll hit that. And that'll allow us to access the door. Finally, I can open a door in this game. The game has officially taught me how to open a door. And I'm totally fine with that. hold on. The door won't open just yet. First, tell me more about yourself. This is very important for things later on in the game, but let the game explain things to you. Press the touchpad button for first-person view. You can use the left stick to look around. Press the touch button again to return to standard view. This will let you look around and you can do anything you want. You can make yourself incredibly dizzy if you want. But the questions that these three will ask you are very important. This will determine how difficult the game is for you in terms of leveling up. If you choose the top option for all three, you will have a very easy time leveling up in this game. You'll start out very easy, and then as you progress, it'll get harder and harder and harder and harder. If you pick every secondary option that they give you, it'll go at more of a standard pace where things will get harder as it goes, but overall starts out at a relatively decent clip. However, if you choose the bottom one for all three, you will start out at the hardest leveling curve, which means you will be very much screwed over early on. However, by the end of the game, you will be leveling up like crazy, so it's really up to you which path you want to take. The triangle talk command is available. Press triangle to talk to people nearby. So, for the sake of argument, I'm going to try to go for a more standard one here. So we're not too worried about levels, and we're not too not worried about levels, if you know what I mean. I'll go with getting old. None of these really impact me, but whatever. What do you want out of life? I want to broaden my horizons. Thank you, Waka. You want friendship, you're afraid of getting old, you want to broaden your horizons. Your adventure begins at midday. Keep a steady pace and you'll come through fine. And that means we have a decent level up curve. A normal level up curve, if you will. The day you will open the door is both far off and very near. It's time to wrap up the tutorial. And now look, it's Princess Aurora. Or as many of you uncultured swine call her, Sleeping Beauty. Yes, her movie is called Sleeping Beauty, but her name ain't Sleeping Beauty. Press the options button to open the menu screen. In the main menu, you can do things like view your inventory and status or configure your game settings. However, you can't open the menu during battle. Case in point, as now we have another battle with some Heartless. I don't believe I'm spoiling anything for you, as, well, I think one of the most well-known things about Kingdom Hearts 1 is that you fight demons of the dark known as Heartless. Crap, you guys are being relentless today. There we go. Let's see. Get my health restored to max. Now, sometimes you can automatically counter and block opponents just by attacking, but it's not a consistent strategy. If you want to consistently block your opponents, wait until you get the attack move guard, or the ability guard. For us, it shouldn't be here until we're in like the mid-20s, maybe even a bit later. But for now, I don't think we have to worry about that. This is a save point. Touch save points to recover HP and MP. Press triangle button to open the save menu and the save icon appears. Be sure to save your progress before quitting the game. It's a good idea to save often. If anything goes wrong, you can then load your save data and resume from there. I was gonna save, but apparently the light wants to go from Aurora up a stained glass path to another platform? Yes, another platform. Alright, we will save here. Save over this. And we will start from there, should this game crash. I don't think it's gonna crash, but okay. When you press the options button, you are open to the main menu of the game. This will allow you to change things. You can check your inventory, such as the items you have and the items you have in stock. Your equipment, in which you only have the Dream Sword. Other things will appear later. abilities, and in proud mode in Kingdom Hearts 1, the only ability you have access to early on is XP0, in which you gain no experience from fighting. Yes, Kingdom Hearts was one of the first games that gave you that supreme challenge of, can you beat this with only one level or something like that, and to be honest, that just never really was something for me. You can check your status, items, accessories, abilities you have, stuff like that. And then you can configure the game settings in which you can change anything except the difficulty. With that in mind, let us proceed. After a while, as you can see, if you go further, you cannot go back, as this is the end of the tutorial coming up on this last platform. I'm guessing we'll have another Disney princess on here. And I was right, it's Belle. And the Beast. Interesting. The closer you get to light, the greater your shadow becomes. But don't be afraid. And don't forget. Forget what? And I'm fighting a giant shadowy version of myself? What is this malarkey? This is Darkseid, one of the most basic Heartless bosses that you'll encounter on occasion in this game. His primary attack in this fight is creating a pool of darkness that attracts Heartless to it. It's pretty much free XP fodder if you can manage it. Otherwise, well, they're just going to be slight nuisances to you. What you want to do in this fight, if you want to get through it as quickly as possible, is attack Darkseid's hand, which is the only thing you can really attack from him. In other fights, you can be able to actually hit his head if you want. But for this particular fight, since we don't really have many means of movement, all we do is just hack and slash our way through this fight. And as you can see, we succeeded. And then our sword disappeared. Seems pretty standard for us. And why is Lumiere sleeping on the job? But don't be afraid. You hold the mightiest weapon of all. So don't forget. You are the one who will open the door.